What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate reverse rants, no hate. So, look, I want to touch on something that is coming up a lot, okay? I mean, a lot, y'all. Um, Certain DMs I get, certain channels I'm on, certain platforms, other social media platforms. It's a lot of racial tension going on, and people are not understanding the reality of or should I say not wanting to admit their own racism, their own racist behavior, so they try to overlook racism and act like it doesn't exist, or like it's just people exaggerating, people making it up. Let me say this, okay? Because I'm going to say, I'm not going to sugarcoat and bite my tongue, because people are soft and sensitive to facts and reality, okay? Let me say this, okay? First off, it's stupid for people to try to come up with this whole reverse racism shit when somebody, what the fuck is reverse racism? That's clearly saying we're not the same, we're different. So if I do it to you, when you do it back, it's called reverse racism. Because if we was both the same skin fucking color, nobody would be talking about reverse racism. Okay, why I'm saying this is stupid, look at what the situation is. When somebody does and say some racist shit, and then the first thing a person want to do, well, what about when such and such said? Do you know how many fucking what ifs? And what about this? And how come? Remember that time? Do you know how long we could sit here and do that and point a finger at who said what, and nothing happened to this person? This is why, like, when I say, for example, when you see cops beating the fuck out of black people and killing them, shooting unarmed men, and someone gets a fucking attitude and act as if I'm just making this shit up. Like, you can't go right here on this platform that we're on and pull up video after video after video after video after video. But when did this shit stop? So now what's happening is certain people have been fired, people are losing their jobs. They're pulling up videos from the past. They're finding shit where people have done and said certain shit. And let me tell you why what you're overlooking. You're saying, oh, that guy shouldn't have been suspended or fired because of that. Because I mean, come on, how many people have said this? Is exactly the point. It has to start somewhere with somebody. So sad, so bad, however you want to fucking say it. But let's be realistic, okay? If someone feels certain ways and they don't change from that shit, this is the same person that might not hire you because of your skin color. This is the same person that might not save your child's life because of their skin color. This is the same people that like to keep pushing this whole racist envelope. I know in professional wrestling, a guy made a comment about a female wrestler, how he wanted to do this, that, on the first time he seen, oh, she this and this and this. And they actually suspended that guy and made him take some courses, some sensitivity courses, because they don't want that reputation being attached to them as a company because of the actions of this one person. Now we're seeing other wrestlers that was caught using the N-word, and involved in racist acts and saying shit. And but that was a long time ago. But how come? See, if you, let's take myself for example. Let's say I'm a racist motherfucker, right? I don't like people because they're different. They look different from me. We talk different. We walk different, right? And I don't like you. I could be the person calling the police on you just to get you fucked with because I don't like you. I could be the fucking person that won't hire you because I don't like your skin color. I could be the same person that is denying you from doing something that you deserve, that you earned, that you're qualified or more than qualified, but because my race is bullshit, oh, you don't get that. Okay? You guys gotta understand this shit. You can't have somebody, you can't look. I don't know if you guys remember, there was a football game going on back in the 80s. And I think it was Art Monk was running, and the commentator said, look at that monkey go. Y'all remember that shit? Look at that monkey go. Oh, his last name is Monk. I just got kind of, I didn't mean to say that. It came out the wrong way. No, you call that man a fucking monkey. Jim Lampley. I remember when he was talking. Who was he talking to? I think it was Oscar De La Hoya he was interviewing. And they was talking about when he fought Floyd Mayweather. And he actually sat there and said, was there some point in the fight where you're like, thinking like, I can't get this son of a bitch to stand still? Sat there, called the man a son of a bitch. Refer to him like, why? First off, even if you're thinking out loud, it just goes to show you what's on your fucking mind. I mean, how do you slander people? How do you fucking slander people? How do you have, especially when you're a person that, your personality that millions of people watch and see, and you want to know what's crazy? The more you try to put an end to racism, others show you, people show you they do not want racism to end. Because when you speak against it for some stupid fucking reason, people have a dumb response like, well, I mean, you can't deny the people the freedom of speech. So it's just like I fucking said. If people was walking around here, okay, think about the time when people was calling you nigger. Come here, boy, you fucking monkey, you coon. Imagine when people was talking like that. Who you gonna run to and go to? That person said, called me this or that. Huh? You at work. You out there slaving out there in the field. Well, he called me a nigger. What were they gonna do about it? Well, that's what you are. So it's just like I said. Imagine if everybody just walked in, hey, come here, you chink. Hey, come here, you fucking guinea. Hey, come here, you know, what about that? Come here, you fucking redneck. Come here, you cracker. Imagine if that's how we all talk to each other. Then who the fuck is wrong then? If this shit is going to be accepted when somebody, it's just like one of my friends, we were talking one day, and I told him, I said, let me ask you something. He's a white guy. And I said, let me ask you something. Do you feel safe when we go down in a certain neighborhood? He goes, when I'm with you. This came out of his mouth, right? And I said, okay, I'm so glad you was just honest and said that. You know why I asked you that? Because unless I'm with you, you never go in this particular neighborhood. So you just clearly said when I'm with you. So it's safe to say you don't feel comfortable going in this particular neighborhood with a white guy. You feel more comfortable if you're with a black guy. Why is that? Because it's predominantly black in this particular neighborhood. Well, I mean, I didn't mean to offend you. I said, no. I'm educating you on something right now. See, you feel more comfortable going there because you feel like nobody's going to fuck with you because you're with me, right? It's similar to how black people feel when we have a white person with us when the cops pull you over, right? Not really, though, because you want to know why? When you get pulled over, and this is something that people need to understand, okay? When you get pulled over, okay? And let's say you didn't do anything. Let's just say it's one of them situations where the cops are like, okay, I'm trying to meet quotas. Let me just pull this guy over and see if I can find anything on him. It's completely different, though, when people pull you over because of your skin color. Racism should not be accepted on any form. But like I said before, you cannot be a group of racist people that set the laws, then break the laws, then tell other people what they can and cannot do. And then certain groups of people find a way to make it without you, find success on their own, build their own little groups and organizations, and then all of a sudden now you want to say it's reverse racism because your asses ain't welcome on this side. No. See, this is the shit I'm talking about. It's just like, for example, when you see a black guy, let's just say, okay, let's say you have an Indian man married to a Polish woman, okay? And let's just say that the Polish people are going, why did you marry this Indian? Oh, why did you, right? Imagine the Indian people saying the same shit to him. So now you have a man and a woman that's married, but their families don't like each other. They don't like you. So how is this going to work? This means the two of you have to make it known. This is the person I'm with, and this is who I love. And if you're not going to be supportive, we won't be coming to no family barbecues and picnics and all that. We will make it fine just without you. If you can't support us and show us love as human beings and me as your family member, and this is, your daughter-in-law or you know what I mean, or whatever you understand what I'm saying? Your in-law, whatever. We're not. Then you know what? You guys can go your separate ways. No, most people don't do that. Well, she's just like that. Or just ignore it. But it's my dad. So you're supposed to sit back and put up with this shit because you're too soft and ignorant to understand that. Then what happens when you have kids and the grandparents don't want anything to do with the grandkids? What happens then? So you just basically dance around everything and try to ignore racism, right? Because you don't want to upset these people, but the very people that you're trying to respect show you no respect. So we see this same shit happening in sports where people are making comments. So yeah, we talked about Devin Haney saying, I never let a white boy beat me. The same shit Bernard Hopkins said. The same way Hector Camacho, I could beat all these niggas. I could beat all these niggas. The same way Hulk Hogan made the comment about how his daughter, I don't know, I think she's dating a black kid, man. Fucking niggers, man. Okay? We can go on and on. Vince McMahon making a joke out of it when he walked up to John Cena on the scene of WWE Raw. What's up, my nigga? And start doing his little, so what? This is how all black people walk, right? You see what I'm saying, the stereotypes. The stereotypes. All the black wrestlers got to be, yo, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, yo, punk ass motherfucker. Yeah, that, all of this jive stereotype shit. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, look at the things that we've been dealing with for the longest in sports, right? They even made a movie out of White Men Can't Jump. There was this whole black guys don't make good quarterbacks. Oh, they run too much. They don't play the position right? White boys don't have no game. They can't drive and jump from the foul line. They can't, right? It's always some shit that we get so used to hearing and seeing that people think that this shit's normal. So they actually sit and categorize people, and we sit back and repeat this shit and act like, well, that's just the way it is. No. So at what point does it stop? So when people are starting to get suspended and getting fired, it's necessary. You know why it's necessary? For the simple fact that the only way you're going to eliminate that shit, people have to suffer consequences for their actions. So for you that say, oh, but how can you punish somebody just for expressing themselves? Oh, okay, cool. Have that same fucking energy when you go to get a job somewhere, or you get stopped by a police officer somewhere, or something wrong happens to you simply because a person was racist towards you. And for me personally, it's not hard because I'm not a fan of anybody. So I don't get my feelings caught up because somebody lose a fight or win a fight or however. I mean, like I said, I enjoy the sports and shit like that, but I mean, I'm not that's my mom. Oh yeah, I'm not one of those people. I'm not jumping up and screaming when somebody win. It's like they get the win. Cool, good fight, good fighter. That was a good game or whatever. I don't care on a personal note. I don't take none of this personal. So it's easy for me to not care if somebody suffers behind something that they did because they have to be educated and they have to learn. It's just like if a person is going around robbing houses, right? What has to happen? He gets caught. He felt okay. He has to do some. Why? The whole point is to rehabilitate a person, right? Even though we know that's not what jail does. But what I'm saying is when a person is held accountable for their actions. Imagine, forget this. I worked for a company one day, okay? And a woman stood there and yelled out, there's too many fucking foreigners and street niggas in this fucking place. This was a black woman who said that. I complained, wrote that ass up, and made a conversation with her so I could record what she was saying. And of course they go, well, you have to let them know that you're recording. No, they're not going to say that shit if they know that you're recording them. My whole point was I wanted to expose her for the liar that she is. I didn't sit back and say, well, she's black, so... No. That was what she said. She got pissed off. It was a room full of people trying to explain the situation. There was a lot of shit going on. And she yelled out, everybody shut the fuck up. Too many foreigners and street niggas in this fucking place. Oh yeah, and she denied every word of it. She never would say nothing like that. She's a God-fearing woman, and she's this and she's that, blah, blah, blah. She's also the same person that she married an old white guy that was way older than her, so she could inherit whatever he had. And she used to talk about this kind of shit. She was very arrogant, very stuck on herself. And basically, she had an issue with me because she couldn't control me. And when people would say things about her, I'm like, y'all sit up here and complain about her and talk all of this shit about her. I understand she's the manager and all that, but so fucking what? Wrong is wrong. What are they gonna? Oh, we're gonna fire all of y'all because y'all telling the truth about her. When one person, it's just like this. When one person says something about somebody, they'll have a meeting and they'll say things like, "If you seem to be the only one that feels this way." They ask everybody, "Do you guys have any issues?" They're all scared to lose their jobs, so they sit there. No, I don't have any issues. Oh, behind closed doors, you have every complaint in the book, but now that we're face to face, you're scared to say how you really feel. But if everybody's saying the same thing, they got to understand something is definitely okay. Everybody's saying the same thing. So basically, when it's just 1, 2, or 3 that speaks up out of 20, 30 people, yeah, it's like these 3 are just troublemakers. But when the whole group speaks up, it changes things. So people have to start being held accountable for their actions. It's as simple as this, man. We get people so sensitive. Like a guy made a comment to me one day. He said, "Man, no disrespect, but you are so handsome and sexy." I said, "Listen, keep shit like that to yourself." Well, I don't mean any harm, but listen, keep shit like that to yourself. And I walked away from him. And this whole conversation, which I don't really care, but he hates gay people because first of all, I'm not gay. I don't give a shit how you feel, how you take it. I'm not gay. And if that's a crime because I'm not gay and I'm letting you know I'm not gay, then that's too damn bad. Now, I'm the same guy who will tell people leave that guy alone because it's a gay guy, they fucking faggot motherfucker. And I'm like, man, that guy's not bothering you. Mind your business. So, okay, he's gay. That's his business. He's not bothering you. Leave him alone. Simple. I don't bother him. I didn't bother that guy. I'm minding my business. This guy walks up to me to tell me, but then it's considered gay bashing simply because I let this guy know, keep shit like that to yourself. For somebody to make a comment, if it was a female, it'd be different. First of all, I'm not gay. Second of all, I don't need to explain shit to you. If I tell you, keep shit like that to yourself, I don't like that shit. It's plain, you respect my wishes or we're going to have an issue. It's as simple as that. Who the fuck gives somebody else the right to dictate who I should or shouldn't accept compliments from? And at the end of the day, it's like, for all of this shit that people say, I'm like, you guys love to make arguments and love to try to defend people because somebody stand their ground, right? But at the end of the day, I didn't call this guy any names. I didn't say anything out of turn. I let him know, keep shit like that to you, and I meant what I said. It's plain and simple. I'm not walking around calling him any kind of names and making fun of his lifestyle. I don't care. That's his business, what he does. It has nothing to do with me. And you're going to show me respect. The same respect you want, that's what you're going to show. So if I'm polite to someone and then you take it the wrong way, that's your problem. But when you get out of line and cross that line, I'm going to let you know. Keep that kind of shit to yourself. It's as simple as that. And I went on. So, yeah, people will try to defend that. But when you speak against racism, notice, people, listen to what I'm saying. When you speak against racism, period, you have people that's like, yeah, but this and that, yeah, but what is the yeah buts? You have to start making examples out of people by holding them accountable for what they say, what they do, so they know that, no, that's not acceptable. But when you have shoulders to lean on when you're wrong, people are going to continue to practice the same negative behaviors. And it's not going to go anywhere. So you want to know something? If professional fighters, commentators, wrestlers, football, basketball, whoever, actors, actresses, whoever, if the police officers, firemen, whoever it is, doctors, lawyers, you know what I'm saying? Anybody, judges, okay? if people are being fired or suspended for what they're doing and saying, you want to know what's going to happen? No matter how hateful they are, they will keep that shit to themselves. You don't have to like me. I don't have to like you. But when there's a personal dislike, it's very difficult. It's next to impossible to really work with someone that you have an actual hatred for. At the end of the day, you can hate a person. I'm not the type of person that just don't like people because they're a certain way or my there's people who have an attitude about themselves, a certain area where you're like, I don't even like being around that person. But I mean, for me, it's more so when a person does rotten things to people. I mean, you could walk around and think you're the most handsome motherfucker in the world or think you're the sexiest one in the world. I don't care. I'm not, oh, she's so conceited. That doesn't bother me. That's your business. You can feel what you want. But if you are a person that treat people bad, you do rotten things, yeah, that's something that would definitely make me not want to be around a person and grow a dislike towards what they stand for. But at the end of the day, it's like we are so quick to try and back somebody up for being wrong. I mean, let's look at, for example, the situation that happened with these girls on the beach. I don't know these girls. I talked about it in a previous video. The cop was going to arrest them for wearing a thong because someone complained. I didn't have to lift my voice to say anything, but I did because it's like, so you're going to arrest somebody for wearing a thong and she's not even aware, they wasn't even aware that they, and in that video, the Myrtle Beach situation, I'm not talking about that. That was something that happened with the one girl, it was two, but it was one they was going to arrest. This situation was a group of girls, but it was two that they wanted to arrest because they had thongs on. And it's the same thing. It's like all these people out here with thongs or like, really skimpy bikinis. So you're going to arrest everybody out here? Oh, but it was because somebody complained. They were all white. I was the only black person in the entire area. Okay? So to be perfectly honest with you, if I wouldn't have said nothing, that don't make me racist because if I didn't, but the fact of the matter, I spoke up for something when my skin color works against me so often. And in America, like I said in the last video, it's so crazy how we talk about we're Americans, we all stand and salute the same fucking flag, but then yet we turn around and because of skin color, we show we're not united. We show that we're not one. So why would you be upset because somebody lose their fucking job for making racist or biased comments that basically have some form of racism in it? If just let's just say, for example, right? I feel like the Chicago Bulls was the most dominant team I ever saw. Now, personally, I like the San Antonio Spurs. But I have no reason to believe that anybody was better than the Bulls. From what I saw, it's like, nah. Now, it would be one thing if I said, what if I said, I think the Chicago Bulls was the greatest team ever? Somebody said, well, what about the Celtics? And I said, it was nothing but a bunch of white boys on that team. That's some racist shit to say. That's no different from a stereotypical racist comment like, oh, black guys don't know how to shoot 3-pointers. So the same, white boys can't jump, white boys ain't got no fucking game, or whatever. All of this shit that people say, even like some people try to say it as a joke, but a lot of times people joke, they say the shit they really mean, but they say it in the form of a joke. But I'm not even talking about that. I'm talking about how people, I'm saying, imagine if I said that shit. You'd be like, oh, that's some racist shit, man. How you gonna say, oh, they all a bunch of white boys? So this is what I'm saying. So even in 2020, people still using the term, that terminology. You know what I'm saying? Why the fuck? It's like I tell anybody, we sit in a circle, everybody's from somewhere different. And I'm like, if I bring you home to my family, I don't need to fucking tell my family, oh, he's from India. Oh, yeah, he's white. Oh, the guys. For what? You're a human being, right? And if we ever get to that point where we treat each other as human beings and not sitting up here hiding behind or worrying about what skin color somebody is, it is so crazy. Look at how many people go to church. Look at how many people sit and talk about love and spreading peace and God and this and this. Look, man, slave owners were Christians and went to church and had religion and all that, and still was fucking wicked, rotten, crooked people. If I go out and buy nice things for my wife and kids and do things for my family and do beautiful things for the people I love, but go out and rape and beat and kill and lynch people, does that make me a good person? Yeah, to the people that love me, yeah, I'm good to them, but what about everybody else? That doesn't matter, right? So even the forefathers of this country, people who did certain things that's considered great people, that's racist as fuck. And we know that they were racist as fuck and know who they are, but people get upset when you say, I don't really, well, how could you say that? How? No. So overall, it's no different. I was talking to one of my brothers the other day, and he made a comment about a particular person. I said, man, listen, you don't need to talk about what the person's nationality is, man. We know what that is. We don't need to take it there. Just talk about what happened. And he didn't understand where I was coming from at first. And afterwards, a couple of people said the same thing to him that didn't even know him. He's like, man, listen, we know what they are. They just relax, man. It's not just what happened. And then after we got through it, we all got together in a circle. And it's so funny when you put somebody on blast in the opening and they can't justify their actions. And then he started to understand what we were doing. If we are going to categorize everybody that we see that look different from us, we will never get anywhere, because like I said before, it's hard for you to be friends with somebody that have people around them, family or friends, they are afraid of offending. So what are you going to do? You think you're going to offend? You don't mind offending me because you want to make them happy? No, they try to keep you like certain people. If anybody has a relationship like this, then you know what I'm saying. If you've had friends and you've been friends with these people for years, and you guys are not the same nationality, you don't know what their mother, father, brother, sister, you've never been in their house, you've never met a family member, more than likely you know why. And when that's the situation, and you have a conversation, he'll tell you, man, because it's a couple people, I'm like, man, I've known you all these years. You've been around my family, you've been in my house. How come I've never been in your house? How come I've never met anybody? Right? Oh, yeah. And when the truth comes out, it's like, wow. And let me just say this, okay? Racism comes from all walks of life. Everything is not just a black and white thing. You got a situation where Jamaicans hate Haitians, Haitians hate Jamaicans, Africans hate Black Americans hate Africans, Trinidadians don't like Guyanese. Koreans don't like Chinese. Chinese don't like Koreans. Japanese don't like neither one of them. Vietnamese hate it's one of those things. Puerto Ricans don't like Dominicans. It's one of them situations where you got to understand, like, there's a certain mindset that people have that to them, like I said, it's normal. So when you're speaking against racism, it's like, nah. When I was growing up, man, I remember people used to be talking about how, blacks and Latinos get along more than anybody else. And I don't know how true that was, because I've seen both sides of the coin where we did and we didn't. But at the end of the day, it's like, here it is, 2020. Are we not still having, right here on YouTube, you can look at videos where they're talking about black and brown not getting along. And it's like, bro, for somebody to actually get offended with you because you're speaking against racism. Someone made a comment about people rioting and looting, right? And this was based on the fact that, now let me make this clear. The Myrtle Beach situation, there was people that was like, oh, these fucking cops aren't shit. This is a waste of time. Wow, you got people out here, idiots, scumbags of the earth, looting and rioting and tearing up cities, but yet they out here worrying about, two beautiful white women in bikinis. Clearly. And it's like, what the fuck does these women wearing bikinis have to do with anything because the cops are fucking with them? What does that have to do with anything you're talking about? And it was a black guy that checked them, and I'm talking about niggas like you, black fucking scumbag niggas like you. Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but I've seen the cameras too. I've seen when that was happening. I saw a whole lot of white people looting too. But ain't it kind of weird how some people just see what they want to see? So this is what I'm saying when we talking about shit. Like what I told one of my brothers the other day. I told him, man, listen, we know what's just relax. No racial slurs. We gonna deal with the facts, and then we gonna come face to face. And when we started talking face to face, you know how people it look like they're physically just getting smaller. The more you put pressure on them, just by simply asking them simple shit and conversing with them, and they can't really say anything without sounding like a racist. So they try to be real careful of what they say. Well, another thing, understand something. In the world of social media, everybody's a tough guy when they get on the keyboard. Let me say this. A lot of people have no life. They're not happy. They're miserable. And they sit up on these keyboards, they sit up on social media, and they have nothing better to do with their time except sit up and gain weight, get obese, and worry about what everybody else is doing and saying. Everybody want to get so offended because you have a different opinion from theirs. But when you're trying to make things positive, push things towards the right direction, we can get away from all these old stigmas and old fucking racist ways of thinking. And someone actually wants to dispute that and want to make it well, why can't we be racist? Somebody actually said that, well, if I want to be racist, I have the right to be racist. Yeah. And fuck you and your life, and who cares about you? You can go crawl off in a hole somewhere and die, man. Because you're sitting up here trying to I could not imagine me telling my kids, don't like white people, don't like Latinos, and don't like this and that, don't like Japanese people, don't. I mean, what kind of goofball shit are we on? So now every time someone feels like they want to be racist and say stupid racist shit, we're supposed to sit back and cater to that. No. If you are a fan of someone and you find out that they're racist and that doesn't change the way you feel about them, then that's on you. But you can't sit here and applaud one person for being racist, but then all of a sudden, here's somebody else displaying the same behavior, have a different skin color, and now all of a sudden it's a problem. And that's part of one of the reasons why we can't get anywhere, because people want to keep hate, they want to keep racism and all this negative shit alive. And until we start holding people accountable and they start suffering behind this shit, behind their actions, nothing's going to change the way they see things. And as long as they got platforms where they can come on and express their racism and hate, they're going to always feel comfortable. And if you support that, I don't want nothing to do with you. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say on this video. I will catch y'all on the next one.